Your job as a business owner is to make as much profit as humanly possible and save as much money in your business as you can so you can profit the most come tax time and what actually goes into your bank account. And in today's video, we are going to show you how to maximize profits and save money in your business and how we have saved over $100,000 using this exact strategy.
Hey everybody, my name is Bethany.
And I'm Sean, and together we are
Trash Pandas Thrift. We are a six-figure reselling business that we run together, and on this YouTube channel, we share with you all the tips, the tricks that we've learned along the way, and of course, we share our own experiences too, so that you can grow and start your very own reselling business too.
Yes, we do. And in today's video, we are going to get right off the rip and tell you exactly how we've saved over $100,000 in our reselling business. And this is the strategy. We have a low cost of good. And before you think that you cannot access a low cost of good, maybe you don't have bins, maybe you don't have rag houses, we're gonna go over those, but we have, this video is for you. We're gonna cover those first, and we have so many awesome strategies to cover in today's video. Some you probably haven't even thought about yet.
It seems like a simple concept that the number one way that you can save in your business is lowering your cost of good, and it is, and there's good reason for that. Often the simplest things that are right in front of us are the most fundamental and the most instrumental ways that we can change and improve our business in. And that goes right from the start. Your cost of good, how much you actually spend when you're outsourcing for the items that you sell, it is honestly, in most of our reselling businesses, it's going to be the common most expensive cost. The more that you can lower it, the more that you can save in your business.
And as you grow, you're gonna be selling more than 1, 2, 10, 15, 20 items a month. You're gonna be selling hundreds of items a month, hopefully and in theory. And as you're purchasing more and more inventory, as you're purchasing 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000 items a month, you're going to be, or even more depending on your business. At one point, we were purchasing almost 4,000 items a month. And honestly, as you do that, the more important it is to save as much as you possibly can. 50 cents, $1, $2 can save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars a year in your business. So that leads to the first strategy and the one that we have the most experience with, which is the Goodwill outlet / bins.
Yes, so we just put out one of the first video in a series of videos that we're going to be doing about the Goodwill outlet. And if you haven't checked it out, I urge you to, because honestly, it is my favorite place to source as a reseller by far, and it has been for years. The number one reason for that is how low your cost of good can truly be when you're shopping at the Goodwill outlet, or sometimes you might be hearing it referred to as the bins, the Goodwill bins. Now, that is exactly what you should expect when you're walking into a Goodwill outlet. That low cost of good does come with a catch, and that catch is nothing is hung up like in a traditional thrift store. And nothing is priced like a traditional thrift store either. Instead of a thrift store where all the clothing is hung up on hangers, you get to peruse it at your own leisure. You pay, depending on the thrift store, that price is going up. You could be paying a pretty penny per item at a regular thrift store. 5, 6, 7, 10, upwards of $15 an item. At the Goodwill outlet, you are not paying per item, you are instead paying per pound. So every single pound you pay an X amount of dollars depending on the location. There have been locations we've shopped at that have been as low as 99 cents a pound. Across the country, you're gonna see a lot of them priced at about the $2 mark per pound. And in some parts of the country, like California and Minnesota, they could be upwards of $3 a pound, which is still an awesome deal when you think about it. A lot of resellers' average cost of goods when shopping at thrift stores and not taking into account their discount days and ways they can save can be super high. I'm thinking upwards of $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 as an average cost of good an item, whereas our average cost of good over the years of shopping at the Goodwill outlet has always hovered right about the $1 per item mark.
Yeah, and now even with moving to San Francisco, we're sitting about the $1.20-ish per item, but still a really low cost of goods. So we've got that part of the way, we've got the Goodwill outlets, and sometimes they have Salvation Army outlets as well, so I would highly recommend you look into that. There's also rag houses. We personally don't have a ton of experience with rag houses, but rag houses are basically these gigantic warehouses that are, if you think Goodwill outlets are filled with clothes, these things are filled to the brim with clothes, and they are a little bit harder to find. You can do some research by typing in rag houses in your area or in your state, or also by making connections with local resellers, but those can also be a great opportunity to lower your cost of good as well. Leading into our third point, which I think is probably going to impact most of you. And there's going to be a couple of them that are going to impact a lot of you guys, but this one's going to be something that maybe you haven't even been implementing, even if you know about it as a thrift store shopper, and that is discount days and tag sales.
Yeah.
If you don't already do this, discount days and tag sales can be huge for your business. It could save you right off the bat hundreds of dollars a month.
If you are not someone who wants to go to the Goodwill outlet, or you're going to try some of the other things we're going to mention today and they just don't work super well for you in your area, the one thing that all places across the United States have are thrift stores, and most of those thrift stores have sales. They have sale days, they have tags, color tags that they mark off to a certain percentage, and that is your job. Your job is to get to know these stores and their discount days, their discount tag sales, any type of discount they offer, like it's the back of your hand. One of my favorite sourcing opportunities that we do every single year, I'm just gonna name it right off the bat. Buffalo Exchange has a $1 sale every single year on Earth Day, and it is honestly the day of the year I look forward to most. We stock up, and by stock up, I mean stock up. And that is just one example of a sale that happens once a year. There are stores in your area, I guarantee, that have a more regular sale cycle because they're physical locations. They cannot physically store all of the clothing that they get that does not sell. They need a sale cycle in order to get rid of that clothing. And it is your job to either ask the employees, ask them, when do things go on sale? Do you have a sale day? Is there a color of the week? And that could really lead to huge savings in your business.
Yeah, 100%. Even when we were in Austin, there were several local thrift store chains that had weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly sales. And they were dollar sales. They were fill-a-bag sales. They were really, really great deals that could lower your cost of good significantly. And that is something that I think a lot of people know about and then just don't ever implement. So I would highly recommend that you get on that, you make a routine, a schedule around those things, and you can really save a lot of money right there. Another thing that I want to talk to you guys about is garage sales and yard sales. So I know for a lot of you guys all across the country, you definitely don't have them year round. Honestly, in the past couple of years, we've lived in places with decent weather year round, except for in Austin where it was really, really bad in the summertime. But there was still...
It still came out though.
Yeah, people still did a lot of yard sales and garage sales in the summertime. It was normal. But if you're in a place that has year-round garage sales or yard sales, that's great. That's a great opportunity to go and find really good opportunities to buy low cost of good inventory, and sometimes even in bulk, because you might have a lot of hit or miss, and I definitely know that. Yeah. And you're gonna bump into that one lady who has a whole closet of linen pieces, which would have been perfect for summertime listing, and she's just trying to clean out and get rid of it because it doesn't fit her anymore, or maybe because of some other reason.
That's a perfect point. I was going to say, even if it's not year-round for you, seasonal sourcing, being able to source a lot of bulk inventory in one season and being able to get that to last for a few months. Maybe you live in a really cold climate and there just isn't a lot of opportunity for you to get out and source. In those summer months, you need to hit those yard sales, those garage sales. You need to bulk up in inventory. Garage sales and yard sales are the perfect way to do that because people are trying to get rid of things for usually cheaper than thrift stores. And if you're buying something that you know that you can make a great profit of at a yard or garage sale, the number one tip that we have is to always ask the owner of the garage sale, hey, I love this type of item. What else do you have of this? Would you be willing to sell me more? It's an awesome way to get a connection that could even last you further out than the summer.
Yeah, and you can also have bulk buys in that situation because the more that you buy typically at a garage sale, the better discount you'll be able to get. There are people who are buying 1 or 2 pieces and you might see like $6 or $7 or $5 a piece. And you say, hey, if I bought this whole rack, would you do $2 a piece? Mm-hmm. Right? Negotiating is really, really cool too. It's an opportunity that you might not have at some other sourcing locations while at a garage or yard sale. And this leads us to our virtual yard sale, which is Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Facebook Marketplace is your year-round virtual garage and yard sale. People are always posting bulk clothing or donations or this, or freebies for pickup, or all of these different opportunities to buy in bulk, whether it's shoes or clothes or whatever it might be. And there are some really great opportunities on Facebook Marketplace for sure.
Yes, it is truly the wild, wild west, and it does take some hunting. So you need to be like with your thumb ready on your phone, refreshing that screen, trying to be the first one in order to get certain things. But honestly, it's worth it if you're in an area that you just don't have access to a lot of great brands or a lot of good stuff at lower prices. This is where you start to think out of the box a little bit, and Facebook Marketplace is perfect for that.
Yes, it is. And on the same vein of garage sales, yard sales, Facebook Marketplace is flea markets. So when we were in Austin, it was hot and the flea markets were brutal in the heat, and it just was not a sustainable way of sourcing inventory for us, especially we need a lot of value. And that was just that specific flea market. Maybe we didn't even go to the right one. There's so many opportunities for flea markets. There are resellers who only source at flea markets online. Harry Tornado is a great example of someone who sources a bunch at flea markets. And although he has a little bit of a higher cost of good, you might be able to find opportunities to lower that cost of good, or maybe it will in general be lower than maybe your thrift stores. And there is a really cool opportunity at flea market to, number one, maybe lower your cost of good, and number two, buy in bulk too. Yeah, that's flea market is something that we haven't really looked too much into ourselves, and it's an opportunity that, who knows, it's something that we could look into, and it would be a very interesting strategy for sure that we know works for other sellers out there.
Yeah, I mean, we just did a podcast with Caleb Sells, and he just got me thinking about this. He said something that was so on the money. I don't know if it's going to be posted yet or if it's already posted. Either way, in that interview, he said, if there is competition, there is a reason. And that is so true when it comes to sourcing. The very first time I walked into the Goodwill outlet, for example, I walked right out. So many people, a mob of people, all trying to get one thing. It was so bad. I thought, I'm never going to be able to get anything. I'm never going to get anything worthwhile because there's too much competition. And I will tell you, that is not a bad thing. That is a good thing. There is a reason there's a lot of competition. So if you tell me, Bethany, there's too much competition at yard sales, or my dollar day is too competitive, or my Goodwill outlet's too competitive, there's too many people at the flea market, that's a good sign. That means that people are flocking there for a reason, and the more that you have in terms of knowledge and skill level, the better you can compete, and you don't have to just run away when you see competition at places like this.
Completely agree. And I think that was cool what Caleb said too, for sure, when he was talking about if there's a lot of competition, that probably means it's a good sourcing location. If you're passing by a restaurant and there's a line out the door, unless it's a brand new place and they just had really good marketing, if it's been around a while, it probably means it's got good food. So that's a great tip for sure. Another thing that I want to talk to you guys about is your opportunity to buy wholesale. And there's 3 prongs to this that I want to talk about. The first one is buying out other resellers who maybe either went out of business or they no longer want to sell anymore, or maybe they're downsizing their inventory to focus on something else. Buying out other resellers can be a great opportunity.
Yeah, and this can come in a variety of ways. I've seen Facebook Marketplace sales for someone's entire inventory. There are Facebook groups dedicated to just reseller inventory cleanouts. There's been yard sales that we've been to, and I was like, this is for sure a girl who sold on the internet. And then I started talking to her, and she said, this is only a fraction of what I actually have. I am cleaning out my entire reseller inventory.
Yeah, and another option for wholesale could be finding a wholesaler. We are unfortunately not taking on new clients, but there is a small market of other resellers who wholesale to other resellers. And if you can find one that's a reliable source, honestly, you'd be surprised that you might actually be able to save money on your inventory, which is counterintuitive to some people. They're like, wait, they're gonna source for me, they're gonna maybe take pictures or do a video call with me, they're gonna ship it to me and I can save money? Depending on where you are, yeah, you might be able to actually save money. There was one of our clients that was located in the Pacific Northwest, and their cost of good was over $10 a piece. And at the time, we were only charging $6.50. And even now, we're only charging $7.50. And that is a great deal for them because they're literally getting inventory sent to their door cheaper than what they actually would spend if they went to the thrift stores, not including their gas, the food they eat when they're out, and all the rest of that stuff. So wholesale can be another really great opportunity if you can find a reliable wholesaler.
And remember, we're not just talking about ways to find inventory for $1, $2. Yes, that is our business model. And I know for sure, I know that's not everyone's business model. Your business model is what works for you. So we're not advocating for you to adopt, I'm buying something for $1, I'm flipping it into 25 if that's not your business model. I'm advocating for you to scratch $1, $2 off anywhere you can. Any amount that you can lower your cost of good is awesome. And that could be from, again, even something that you might not think could be lowering your cost of good, like buying from a wholesaler.
Yeah, the point is if you can save, if you're buying 300 items a month, let's just say, I don't know the math, so let me just do it real quick. Let's say you're listing 10 items a day, and there's 30 days in a month, that's 300 pieces a month. If you can save $1 a piece, that's $300 a month. Yeah. That's $3,600 a year. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money. $3,600 a year is a lot of money. So anywhere you can save money, 50 cents, $1, $2, that's great. And that leads me into the last point that I have on wholesaling, which is we have number 1, buying out other resellers. Number 2, finding an actual wholesaler. And number 3 could be going to local thrift stores or going to flea markets or going anywhere there are people making these big sales, church sales, wherever it might be, and negotiating with them to buy them out in bulk. That's something that I know most of you have not thought about, and that is so crazy of an opportunity for some of you who will actually go implement and take action on it. You might be able to go to a local thrift store and say, hey, can I buy you out in bulk for certain pieces? And they might say, absolutely not. I'm not interested at all, right? But they might turn around and say, sure, why not? You can come up with so many different solutions that you can negotiate and figure out how to tweak a deal where you might be able to access inventory early or get aged inventory for a very low cost of good or find some kind of way to make it mutually beneficial where you both win. And that is something that I wanted to leave as the last tip because it is huge. And I bet so many of you haven't even had that cross your mind. And it's just waiting for you in a gold mine of money.
Yeah, you always say closed mouths do not get fed. And the worst that they can say is no. Doesn't sound that bad.
No, it's absolutely not that bad. So those were all the points that we had. We didn't want to make this some long drawn out video. We wanted to just hit you with all of the information and let you guys digest it and comment below some ideas you might have as well. I think these are great strategies that a lot of people are not implementing, and maybe you know about it, but head knowledge is nothing if you don't actually take action and apply it. So I hope that you guys will actually use this information, go take action, and watch as the dollars start adding up in your savings and how much you start saving in your business.
Remember, I would rather do $1,000 in sales and take home more of it than do more in sales and take home less. And the best way to do that is, from our experience, lowering your cost of good.
Yeah, so I hope this video was of value to you guys. I hope that you were able to take some of these and go apply it. Let us know in the comments below how you feel about these ideas, what you've tried, and what you're going to try. And some other ideas I might not have even thought of, or Bethany might not have even thought of.
Yeah, if you like this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.